some decent corn out here. There ain't much of it. There is a little. All right, guys, so it's the next day here, Saturday. Coleman's got my 30-20 with a bush hog here. He's gonna start clipping these corn stalks here, and Coleman tried to bush hog around the edges pretty good. I know there's a place down there, around that tree that needs bush hogging, down there at the bottom. Just try to clean up good. You can bush hog this if you want to. We every fall after we get done shelling our corn, we try to come in, we bush hog the stalks. You know, right now it don't look bad, but all these stalks are sticking up. I like to bush hog them, makes them look good. It gets all that, you know, all this organic matter down to the ground where it can actually rot. And two, like here we have quite a bit of sickle pod coming. Hadn't put a seed on yet, it's just starting to flower. So I'm hoping if he'll go ahead and bush hog that, that'll kill it down and hopefully eliminate anything any kind of weed pressure, weed seed that we might get before frost. Y'all can see that makes it look a lot better. Kind of chops these stalks down low instead of them. Some of them still stick up a little bit, but gets all this trash kind of scattered out a little bit. Like I said, we got a few briars and things coming in here. It's a random little tree. So these fields were growed up really, really bad a couple years ago. So get them bush hogged down, make them look good. People driving by think they look good. Landowners think they look good, and we don't have to contend with these next year. You can really tell right here kind of the difference before and after. I'm gonna take the combine. If I can get the key in it. So this little farm here, it's about 12 to 15 acres. Yes, I know we farm little baby fields. When you're first starting off, that's what you get. This farm's about 12, 15 acres. This little patch here is about like an acre and a half. As you can tell, it's kind of on the road here. And the landowner has a driveway here that goes back up to his house. However, that driveway is pretty narrow, and don't think I can get the combine with the header on it through it. So I'm gonna have to track on the road about a mile out here and come in the back side of the other farm. So the other part has 3 fields. One of them's about an acre and a half like this. And then we also have 2 fields that are like 4 and 5 acres apiece. So let's get moved over there and get started. Well, guys, got back here. This little 1 acre field. The corn actually looks pretty good. Most of the way around it was like 5 to 20 bushels, but I got down here on this lower part right here, and there's, you know, I was up in the 70s, 80s, 100s down this one row here. So I think this field will probably maintain that 70, 80 average. This is only like an acre, little patch here. But hey, we take what we can get. So I didn't bring my moisture tester. It's showing the yield monitor is showing about 18% as the average, but I do not want to jump in and start shelling it until I know that I'd love to get about 15, 16. Pretty sure we're still a little wet. Got a little breeze. It's fairly warm today. So I'm hoping by mid next week we'll be getting there. I hope. I guess we could take a look right here where we had some decent corn, see if we got anything. It's like most of our cobs that I'm seeing are stripped off pretty well. I don't see much of that. I could probably open up the sieve and chaffer just a hair. You see a little bit of corn, a few little kernels here and there slung, but considering how bad a quality of the corn is, I'm not too unhappy with the job it's doing. So let's go find Coleman, and probably gonna try to mow some hay this evening. This here is our John Deere 6600. It's a side hill. The landowners here actually give it to me and Coleman. We told them we'd get it out of here a long time ago, but we have neglected to do so. So we got to do this. If y'all remember back from when we started corn harvest last year, the auger gearbox here that goes into the tank, the clean grain auger gearbox, I guess is what you call it, on our 6620 went bad. Thankfully, this 6600 had one that would match and worked, so we didn't have to wait on it, and we were able to get back going. So good afternoon, guys. My name is Luke. Welcome back to Ruth Farms. Today is Tuesday. It's September the 9th. Coleman and I have just got out of our CDL school. We are going to school the next 2 months to get our CDLs, our Class A's. We're hoping to get a semi-truck and hopefully something like a dump trailer or something here on the farm pretty soon to haul chicken litter with, haul our own grain, if we need to get rock or whatever. As a farm in North Carolina, we're not required to have a CDL. However, I've never been around a tractor trailer much, so I felt like I needed to go and at least learn it. And that way, if we, want to drive or do something else, we got that opportunity. This afternoon, we are going to try to go shell some corn. I'm hoping it's dry enough. When we finished the other day, it was around that 18% mark, which if I had this bin open at that time, that's not that bad because we can put it in here. And if you can tell, there's little slits in this grain bin, and that is so we can blow air up through the bottom, through the grain to help dry the grain. Previously we've had our wheat in here. We had 2 different varieties of wheat. If you remember back from harvest, we had a bearded and a non-bearded. This bin had the non-bearded, this one had the bearded. I wanted to keep those separate because we try to sell most of our wheat, or at least a good portion of it, in bags to locals, either using it for cover crop seed, grinding it for feed for cattle or hogs or chickens, as well as people planting it for hay. And from everything I've been told, you don't want to use the bearded wheat that has a little pricklies on it for hay because it can affect cattle, prickle up their mouth and stuff. So I've kept it separated. Saturday night, I think it was, I took the time while my guys were bagging corn out here. I took the time to empty all of the remaining wheat out of that bin into our my gravity wagon, borrowed a neighbor's gravity wagon, and we put what little bit was left in the truck. Yesterday we bagged what was left in the truck, so the truck is now empty, and we took the other gravity wagon and put it in this feed bin, which we will bag maybe tonight, maybe one day this week, whenever we get to it. Needless to say, though, we are going to try to start shelling some corn. We have rain coming in this weekend. Pretty good chances. I don't think it's going to be a lot, but our corn quality is already terrible. We already got some sprouting grains and stuff, so we want to get it out of the field, put it in that grain bin. It will blow some air on it if it needs it. About forgot my Ruth Farms merch. Y'all go get you a cup, tumbler, bottle, shirt, hat. Y'all go pick you up one on farmmerchbin.com. We've recently partnered with them for all of our Ruth Farms merch, so y'all go check it out. This is a water bottle we got here with an old style logo. Keeps your water or sweet tea cool for a long time, and you look stylish with the Ruth Farms logo. So for anyone that may be new to the channel or don't know him, this is my brother Coleman. He helps me out all the time on the farm doing everything. But during harvest, he's usually driving the truck, unloading the truck, that sort of thing. Today he's going to be driving the truck and driving my John Deere 3020, pulling the bush hog and bush hogging our corn stalks behind me in the combine. So we're going to get started this evening and see what we can get done. Up here on the left, we have one of our cornfields that we tried the other day. It was a little wet. And here on the right, we have a double crop soybean field. This was our first cut wheat field this summer. Soybeans are looking pretty good for double crops. Pretty happy. All right, so this is about an acre field. It's a little tiny little sucker here. We're literally farming garden patches, but we'll take what we can get here on the Ruth Farms. We're gonna see what this thing will yield. Looks like right now, everything we've cut, our average is about 65.7. Hopefully we can bring that up on this farm, but I'm afraid this is probably not gonna happen. Let this thing warm up here a minute, we'll get shelling. All right, we're going to engage our separator here. Turn on our corn head. Rev her up. Don't hold it. I'll let Coleman be the videoer. Guys, so all that header is doing is it's pulling the whole stalk down to the deck plate and breaking the cob off on the deck plate, and the cob runs up through the header. As y'all can see, we're getting quite a bit of stalk material going through the combine as well. Most of that's because the stalks are weak from the drought. We got doing a pretty good job though of keeping the grain tank clean and stuff. Corn's definitely not good, but it's a lot better than it could be. It's a mess right here. Can't say we got a little decent corn out here. There ain't much of it. There is a little. Guys, there's places this field is really turning out. This little patch here, I don't know what about it, but it is really ripping. It's good looking corn out here. It's only this little field. The next field we're gonna go to, a lot of it's completely dead. Look at some of this corn rolling in. It's quite pretty. Considering last spring, this was literally growed up in trees. Briars.
There is rocks out here bigger than the back tire on that tractor. Well, probably the front tire on that tractor. And then we pulled out with a skid steer. When Luke picked them up with a skid steer, it literally popped his tire off the bead. They were so big.
Look at this, 160, 170, 180. That is really blowing my mind. I'm very pleased. I can't imagine what we'd have had if we wouldn't have had that drought. I'm telling you, I've thought the whole time this was some pretty corn, and considering the drought we went through, what happened was our drought hit right when we were trying to pollinate. And that's a bad time for a drought to hit, especially on corn. We could have had some really, really good yields, I believe. This is all really poor ground too. Y'all can tell right here the tops are broke out. The corn wasn't quite as good here. The tops are breaking over. During that drought, it took so much more nutrients from the plant, from the stalk itself, trying to maintain and produce a seed. And I say that it wasn't no better. We jumped up to 230, 240. Now I'm not going to swear to y'all that that's exactly right. We haven't done a second calibration load on this monitor, but I don't think it's way off. We're going to take a sample of this so we kind of know what we got. Looking good. The quality of the grain is looking a lot better than I was afraid it would be. We do have a lot of grains that are definitely not filled out and don't look good, but they definitely look better than what I was really, really worried we would. We do have some sprouted grain and whatnot, but the deer will eat it just the same. What I want to show you guys, this is what is really going to hurt us. I mean, this here corn on this hole, about here over, if that picks up on camera, is completely dead. I mean, what, 10 bushels to the acre? 7 and 8. I mean, this whole, basically the bottom of this field here completely died out. The drought was so bad that it just completely killed it. I mean, right here we're 2 bushel, 4 bushel. It's bad. That's what's going to hurt us. You know, that field, like the last field, they got us all excited and pumped up, but it's definitely not all like that. I assure you. I really, really wish it was. That's what we got going in the grain tank right now. If you can even see that, it's pitiful. Heartbreaking, but we're going to get it in the combine, get it in the grain bin, put it in a sack for some deer hunters, and we're going to get this whole corn harvest past us, or at least this early corn harvest, and I really think we're going to have a decent late corn harvest. I think we'll have something to show y'all this fall, you know, a lot better than what we're dealing with right now anyway. It's what it is. Y'all can tell on this end of the field, I mean, the corn is in terrible shape. It's all about died. Does this to about halfway down where the soil changes types. This is more of a sandy ground up here. A little bit of clay in it, but the further you get along, it changes. On this side of the field over here where my combine's at, we are pumping out 175 to 250 bushel corn according to the yield monitor, and it is rolling in. Talking about tickling an old boy on a drought year. That's doing it. We're just about to get out of the fun corn though. If y'all can see here, if it picks up on camera, the corn is short and then it gets tall. And that's where whatever happened here, this corn here in a pretty good, I'm gonna say an acre, almost completely and totally died. And this over here on the other end, it had whatever it needed because it's doing good. And that's all without, you know, fungicides and a bunch of extra stuff. That's just chicken litter. We applied a nitrogen over the top, but we never got a rain to get it in the ground. So I don't know what all it's got, but it likes it. Put y'all here in the cab with me because this is the best corn we're gonna see for a little while. That last strip I was averaging about 200, a good portion of the way down, and the screen stayed right around that 200 mark. I'm very tickled with anything over 100 at this point this year. But you watch, just getting ready to get up here. We're dry land, poor corn on a drought year, I can't say, I can't ask for much more than that, y'all. I don't know that's 100% accurate, but boy, ain't that some awesome yields right there. Goodness gracious alive. Wow. Man, I'd love to see what this corn could have done if we'd have had the rain. Golly, y'all. I believe we could have had some 300 bushel corn. I haven't put a fungicide on this. This is chicken litter, and the nitrogen that we put over the top, it couldn't have done any good because it never rained on it. Holy guacamole. Woo! Boy, that's like you get happy right there. I can't imagine how Eric Reed and some of these guys get 300 bushel field. Holy crap. Don't get used to it because it ain't going to happen much. Trying to get Coleman's attention. I need the truck. It's about full. Don't take long that 200 bushel stuff to really, really add up. The Lord has blessed me, you guys. I said at the beginning of the year, I doubted him when I was planting this crop, that it may not come up good. I'm worried. We were planting into some not so great conditions. So I thought, we got a perfect stand. This corn looked great. I mean, it looked phenomenal up until that drought. And it went downhill quick. But this right here is to show you that you can grow some good yields on a drought year. I don't know how in the world we're pulling this off right now, but very blessed. Very blessed. The further we get over, the worse it's going to get towards the ends. This farm ground here, it's like a 5-acre field, maybe a little more. It's kind of sectioned off into 4 different quadrants. Each side of the field has a different soil type. And the soil type on that left corner does not do good, especially when it's dry. But we're almost full. We're going to need a truck in a hurry. Woo! Praise God. My truck has arrived. I got a full hopper load there for a while. I was kind of worried we might not have a hopper load at all. Some good corn though on this end. Get up here and see if y'all can see it. If it picks up on camera, the corn kind of dies right here. That whole chunk. You can kind of tell where it's all nice and pretty and tall, and then it drops off. All those ears are dead. There'll be pretty much no yield there, but everything else, very nice. We're gonna load some trucks after all. I hope that next field surprises me like this one. This one so far has really, really shocked me. And I'm praising God for it. Praise you, God. Got the lights on. You can see some very nice yields here in a couple of places. Now we get down here where there's literally 0 yields. It'll start dropping any second. We got the lights on. We got the truck absolutely teetotally loaded. We're going to try to shell the rest of this little 5-acre field. And then I will like about 4 or 5 acres here on the Smith farm.
Alright, I want y'all to see, y'all seen 250 pop up on the yield monitor. In about 15 seconds, I'm going to show you what they literally in the same round.
Go ahead. It's good enough. Show 'em.
That right there picks up 3.9 to 4 bushels an acre. We have dropped over 250 bushels to the acre within, 150 or 300 yards, maybe? 100 yards?
Oh, not even that far.
I mean, literally from one end to another, we go from 254 bushel to 4 bushel.
This end down here, y'all, it just dies out. I I don't know what to do about it. I don't know if it's just the ground or what, but my gosh, this ground can put out some acreage, some big yields if we get the conditions. 200 plus bushel on a drought year, that's amazing. And we do not put all the extra bells and whistles into it like a lot of people do. This is just chicken litter. We did have nitrogen applied, but yeah, as y'all can see there, we're at 0 bushels. This corn completely died. And you'll see here in just a minute, we're gonna go into some good corn. And by the end we come out, we'll be at 200 plus bushels an acre. Y'all got to remember this yield monitor takes, a certain amount of seconds for it to pick up or for it to relay back to the monitor what we're doing. So it's probably delayed 5 to 10 seconds. But you'll see this corn right here. We're going to go to pushing up that monitor here shortly. Start showing so they can see it climbing. Alright, y'all can see it climbing.
280. Wait, 300, come on! Oh, rip.
I can't imagine that being right. I can't imagine that not being a little high. Holy crap.
I told Luke we're going to try and push 300 on this drought year on one car. And we're close.
That's amazing. Alright, y'all. That's going to do it for the day. I'm telling you one thing, I'm very, very pleased. Alright, y'all, that's going to do it for tonight. I got about probably half of a bin full in the combine. Y'all aren't going to be able to tell it over here. Coleman has a load on the truck. I'm kicking myself in the butt because when I started, I didn't realize that I didn't have this button pushed here, which would be recording all this on the yield monitor. So unfortunately, this field here, I'm not going to have any yield map history, unfortunately. That's one bad thing about these loops that I found out is that they just do not, they don't automatically start as you start. It is what it is. I'm going to take the number that's on here, I'm going to subtract it. Y'all aren't going to be able to see that, probably it's too bright. Oh well, I'll tell y'all either later in this video or tomorrow, the next video, what we averaged. Right now it's showing 67.2. Not sure if that's true or not. Realistic, I would say we're probably averaging around 70 altogether. But there's some places in this farm that done amazing. But anyway, letting the combine cool off here. Let that turbocharger cool down. We're gonna go weigh this load and go home, put it in the bin, I guess, or maybe wait till tomorrow, put it in the bin. We'll see. But if this is the end, appreciate you guys watching. Things have definitely took a change for the better, at least on this field, than what I was expecting. So y'all hang around, catch us on the next one. We got another about 4 or 5 acres here on the Smith farm, and then we got about between 5 and 6 acres left at my house. So, and then we'll be done with the first crop of corn.